Once upon a time, I used to hate myself. I mean, really hate myself. I used to follow a lot of motivational influencers. I used to follow a lot of content creators that I really aspired to. And during this era of my life, I hit a new level of toxic. And I'm laughing because it's funny to think about now, but it was a really dark time when it happened. I lost a real tangible focus on my goals, the things that I was interested in, and quite honestly, I was sort of losing progress in my life because of this jealousy and this pent-up burnout that I had experienced. So I graduated college in 2020, and since then, I have decided to make a pretty drastic change to my life, my mindset, but I promise this is as dark as the video is gonna get today, and we are going to focus on how to change your life in 6 months. So what better place to game plan where the next 6 months of your life are gonna go than to set your goals straight. You don't have to know what you want exactly. Maybe your parents imposed that on you, maybe your teachers did. As a recovering perfectionist myself, I used to get into this headspace where I thought that there was a right moment for everything. I would always be sitting there and waiting and waiting and waiting for this right moment to arrive until one day, somebody informed me that this is actually the same thing as procrastination. Yeah, who would have known? Waiting for the right moment is just a perfectionist's way of procrastinating. Obviously, there are situations where this doesn't apply, like if you go to medical school, you're probably not gonna get it done in a year. Quite honestly, I don't even think that's allowed. So yeah, there are gonna be times where you do have to wait, but the matter is, how do you use the time while you're waiting for that right moment to get closer to your goal, to become more satisfied with your goal once you actually achieve that? And look, here's the beautiful thing. Your goals do not have to be perfect. All you need to do is figure out what you want to change about your life and write 3 goals that match up to that expectation. Let's say that I want to find more happiness in my life. Some ways that I might do that is by finding more self-care in my life, becoming consistent with my content because I love making content. It's something that I've always been super passionate about, and making more time to be with my friends. Now, little disclaimer, you can technically add more than 3 goals, but I did a lot of research on this, and almost every single person that has looked into this topic has found that typically successful people really only focus on 3 at a time because our brains just love 3s. Probably a lot more science that goes into it, but hey, I got a marketing degree. That's not up my alley. I'm not in that tax bracket yet. But okay, let's be realistic. You might not even have 3 goals laid out yet, and that's totally fine. If you're in this boat, what I would recommend is start looking at the people that you already admire. If you're in a dark spot, they might be the people that you're envious of right now. I get jealous of other content creators and their work. Have you seen Bailey Sarian's videos? That girl is insanely good. I want to be her. The point is, if you want somebody else's success, you gotta look at the structure, the system, infrastructure that they have made to set that life up for themselves. It might be nepotism, and you just acknowledge that and you move on. But there's a healthy way to approach it, which we're gonna talk about in this video, I promise. And look, you might not need the full 6 months. Maybe you'll achieve all of your goals and you'll be off making hundreds of thousands of dollars in 4 months if that's what you want. Maybe, great, that's awesome. But it also might take you more than 6 months. I think that it's important to just go into an era of change with an open mindset. There's a really good quote by Albert Einstein, which I'll share with you guys here, which reads, "Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving." All right, so you got the goals, right? They're living up in your noggin, up in your brain. This is what I like to call working from the inside out. Now, just a few days ago, I had my annual conversation with my manager, which actually went really well, but he was talking about growth opportunities for me in my career. However, as I was responding to him, I realized I framed something as a negative rather than a growth opportunity, and I'm actually really, really grateful that he stopped me on the spot. He was like, wait. Did you just say negative? I didn't even realize it. I was like, did I say that? This goes to say that there are so many little habits and ways to talk down about ourselves that most of us don't even realize we have in a lot of cases. You gotta start treating yourself like your best friend. If you live alone, pick up your phone and talk about all of the things you want to change in your life. Like, just pretend it's your best friend on the phone. It sounds really dumb, but you'll realize how much kinder you become about things that are important to you. You're not gonna talk down on your best friend, come on. I'm a super sarcastic person, and and I'm even way nicer to my friends than I am up here in the noggin when I let my self-conscious take over. Another part of this, and the maybe less glamorous part, is that you're gonna need to reevaluate who you're obligated to make happy. There are people that you're gonna have to take care of. A family member who's ill, maybe you have kids. Everyone's got their own life situation, but you have to evaluate who is a priority in your life. A lot of influencers love to be like, oh no, it's all about you, it's all about you. And I know it's self-love and ego are very different things, and that is a conversation for a totally different video, but it's a matter of just determining what is the bare minimum you can do without becoming a people pleaser. And let's say you've evaluated that already, you figured it out. Look to social media. Is there anyone you can unfollow? Do you have friends that you hang out with that just don't respect you or respect your boundaries? Those are the people that I would really advise to take a step back from if you want to stay motivated on this entire 6-month journey. It's a really big part of changing the environment you're in because it will change your results. I touched on this a little bit earlier, but you also got to look at who do you admire. Maybe they have a memoir, maybe they have a biography. Look at their life and what systems and structures work in their life that you can borrow from. Now, I know a lot of people do like billionaire routines, or they wake up at 4 a.m. because their favorite celebrity does it. I don't think that's always necessary. I mean, obviously, if you admire them a lot and that's what you want to do, that's great. I personally do not find joy in waking up at 4 a.m. Maybe someday I will, but right now I don't. And if you're gonna look at someone like a vlogger or a content creator, I think it's important to sort of take the lens off of the aesthetic coffee shops and the shopping sprees and the perfect house, because in reality, those things are just as staged as parts of their life they don't show you. Yes, those things are great and they make you happy, and let me tell you, if I could go to a different coffee shop every day, I would, but you gotta focus on the things that make up their average day. That's the key thing here. And lastly, look at what you personally enjoy to do. What do you fill your free time with? If you have a rainy Saturday afternoon, what do you do with it? And if it's Netflix, why do you like it? What shows do you enjoy? What characters do you admire? Start working with those things. If you had a job where you don't worry about money, what would that job be? Dun, 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 dun. Once you have some ideas, think about how you can build them into your life right now and latch them onto the tasks that you already have. You might have heard of this concept already. It's something that is very popular from a book called Atomic Habits, but it is scientifically proven that people love to do that makes them happy. Revolutionary concept, I know. Nobel Prize. Please email me if you'd like to send me one. I don't know how they do that normally. But you gotta make your daily life more fun if you want to stay persistent for a long period of time, like 6 months. If you're motivated to wake up and do stuff and you're driving towards goals that you're passionate about achieving, that's the key thing. Make it fun, because having fun is easy. So make it easy on yourself. And the last step to this is reworking your life and your system. So I've just given you guys the whole layout of basically what your foundation's gotta look like. You know, if you're building your little Lego set, what bricks do you need to put in the base before you can build the rest of the details? Going back to that book, Atomic Habits, for a second, it is a fantastic book for learning positive habit building. I've heard a lot of people in the wellness space use this phrase about reframing your systems, but I didn't really know how to describe it. I tried so many things as I filmed this, and so I finally just Googled it, and this is what Google says. Systems are a regular practice or routine that is not only small and easy to do, but is also the source of incredible power, a component of the system of compound growth. So the idea is if you set up little goals, it's gonna get you day by day by day closer to what you want to achieve. You're not gonna feel it every day, but if you look back at 3 months ago and you feel that little mindset cringe of how you used to think, it's probably a sign that your micro habits or your little systems were working. Now listen, this is not trademark, but do not steal it from me. I like to have something called a DWM plan for every single goal in my life. This is basically a day, week, month plan. I talked about this in my previous video, which I'll link over here, but long story short, it's the concept that for each one of your goals, you should have something that you can do daily, weekly, and monthly to achieve it. Now, where this really starts to work is when you put it into your calendar. So if you have a daily goal, say, hey, I'm gonna do my daily goal every single day at 9 a.m. If you have a weekly goal, hey, I'm gonna do it every Tuesday evening. Maybe your monthly goal is like half day every Saturday once a month, and just schedule those out for 6 months in the future. I do it just on my iPhone app thing, but the real key is starting with smaller goals and finding small goals that you can bring into your life every single day. Now, I know that sounds really daunting. Obviously, you're gonna have maybe a rough mental health day or a day where you're traveling, your schedule's thrown off. Don't put pressure on yourself. Pick up as soon as you can and keep the momentum going, because momentum is the key word. If you can do something in a little bit of time, it's gonna pay off so much more than anything else. Because here's the thing, if you have a slow day or an unproductive day or you get sick, just the fact that you have something you can do for 2 to 5 minutes is so accomplishing. It puts so much serotonin in your brain. This is just overall going to boost your confidence and make you a way happier person. So with all of that, I would love to hear what your guys' 6-month goals are. Feel free to comment them down below. I'm a nosy little nosy nose. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. In the meantime, go check out my other video, which is all about self-care. I love you, lovelies, and I'll see your beautiful faces in the next one. Also, my dog is barking and I'm dressed like a middle school art teacher.